Greetings, fellow YouTubers, patriots, members of the armed forces, and conservatives alike. This is Ghost Train 615. Have you guys heard the latest, by the way? Did you hear the one about Killary Rottencrotch Clinton trying to say that Donald Trump isn't qualified to be president? Oh, this miserable psychopath does not know when to stop, huh? She keeps on lying and lying and lying and lying and lying and lying. She's really starting to bore me. And I'm going to go full tilt on this article, by the way. So I don't want to hear no static. Especially from you damn liberal lemmings. So here goes. The psycho decides to bring up a false claim that Trump supposedly or allegedly did not donate $6 million to charity. I don't know. Trump vetted a lot of the charities he donated to, and the total came up to near $6 million. So, in the meantime, this leaves a proposition for you. While you were a do-nothing Secretary of State, before you became the psychotic killer that you are today, $6 million disappeared on your watch. So how come you and the moronic media don't want to bring that up? Well, that's right, because you nutsacks are afraid of common sense, which you don't have anyway. None of you have it. And as for Donald Trump calling that jerk from ABC a sleaze, the only thing he left out was he didn't mention the name of who the jerk was. Maybe it was George Snuffleupagus looking for an opportunity to make himself look like the career asshole he's too stupid to know he is. And then there were these paid so-called veterans. I'm sure they were paid off by Killary Rottencrotch Clinton to come up with their BS against Trump. You guys are a little late, okay? The report was made before you clowns started coming around looking for your undeserved 50 minutes of fame like a bunch of $3 whores on nickel night in a sleazy dive bar. Was that original or what? I'm not done yet. And then Killary Rottencrotch Clinton, there's the 55 body count for the murders that you committed. Okay? It started out at 50. Your so-called friends, although I couldn't figure out for the life of me as to how a bitch like you and a sexual predator like Bill Clinton actually has any friends. Some of these friends were willing to testify against you. Explain some of the unfortunate accidents that they had. Oh, you don't want to talk about that either? And I'm sure the media doesn't want to talk about it either. And then your body count grew with the Benghazi 4. And then last month, somebody affiliated with you ended up dead. So that makes it 55. I'll ask you one more time, you scumbag psychopath. Would you care to explain the body count? Or are you still going to be a coward like you already are, like you have been all these years? You don't even have Bill's balls to go face the families of the Benghazi 4, whom you called as liars. Yet you're a fucking liar yourself, you bitch. You're a liar yourself, and you're a hypocrite. And you're too busy running from them. I forgot to add coward to your resume. And while we're on the subject of the missing $6 million, how about your little donations to your fake foundation from dictators from terrorist countries, your pals on Wall Street whom you claim to be against, and yes, even Goldman Sachs? Again, you want to talk about any of this shit? You bitch! Why don't you want to talk about any of the things that I'm addressing right now? Because you are a coward. And there's too many of us, people like me with common sense, that are ready to butt heads with you 20 times over and give you a concussion. Then there's the indiscretions that your wonderful husband committed against several women. You intimidated those women into silence. They're not going to stay silent forever. Some of them have already come out. 3 is a start. But there's going to be more of them. I'm sure Monica Lewinsky's not staying silent for you. Paula Jones ain't staying silent for you either. And I'm sure there's a bunch more out there. How do you intend to deal with them when they come out? Killary Rottencrotch Clinton. Dealing with a sleaze like yourself, I would rather take a chance on eating liver and onions than have a psychopath like you in the White House waiting to kill more innocent Americans. Like you've gotten away with already. That little fuss you pulled, and I'm going to quote this from The Godfather. That little fuss you've been pulling, all these farces that you've been pulling over this election period. Think that could fool a Corleone? I'm kind of that Puerto Rican Michael Corleone. I'm going to tell you what, you psycho. You ain't fooling me for shit. Don't serve me shit on a plate and expect me to call it dinner. Because I'll throw it right back in your damn face for all those murders that you've committed. You witch. And you mindless liberal lemmings that are supporting her. Oh, look at her. We don't care about that American. She's great. Ha! Assholes. Nothing but a bunch of assholes. A cancer to the United States. Every single last one of you. You vote for this scumbag psychopath. The blood of all those people are on your hands. The blood is on your hands, and it is not going to be washed off, even if you got the greatest, hardest hand cleaner ever from AutoZone. There are people like myself who learn from people that inspire me. Michael Savage, for example. He inspires me with truth, with knowledge, and with the ability to see through even a sleazy rat like you, Killary Rottencrotch Clinton, professional psychotic. You're in it for yourself, just like your master, butthurt old fartface. And I'm sure you learned a lot from your master, didn't you? Parroting his lines. And then he thinks that Trump isn't qualified? What the hell is he? Besides a racist, a scumbag, and a fraud. And that's me being nice right there. You don't want me 1 degree below boiling point. You and your master are both a pair of scumbags, pure and simple. How does a nutsack like him, where he and his ugly wife Michael have been permanently banned from practicing law, and yet this hag serves sewage to our school kids, and that stuff is so freaking crappy that if a farmer was to slap his hogs with it, they'd throw the bucket right back at him and ask him, what the hell is this shit you're giving us? Michael is not an experienced nutritionist, and certainly as hell not a dietitian. Butthurt or fartface is nothing but a scumbag community activist. Nothing more. Who won the second election by fraud. Anybody knows that. Even a third grader with common sense would know that. By the way, butthurt or fartface, there were more shootings again in Chicago over the Memorial Day weekend. Why aren't you flapping your shithole on that? While your boyfriend, Rum Rumble Deadfish, is still mayor. Why? Why is this dumb motherfucker still mayor while all these murderers are taking place on his watch? have so much shit to nail you assholes on. I could write a million seller and it would outsell your crappy book, Killary Rottencrotch Clinton. By the way, did you pay the publishers their money yet? Or are you hiding from them too, like you're hiding from the Benghazi Force families? I wouldn't want you running a convenience store. You'd be selling everything weeks beyond the expiration dates. You'd be selling water for gas, messing up people's cars. But the only thing is they'll come after you for it. Frankly, I think the Benghazi families need to take your ass to court and denounce you as the coward that you are. Oh, I forgot. Sorry, Killary Rottencrotch Clinton. You are a coward. The only thing you've been good at it all this time. And you have the nerve to talk about Trump? Did Trump murder anybody? I don't remember Trump committing murders like you did. You're a murderess. And every time you smile, I think about Jack Napier, a.k.a. the Joker, who brought death to his victims with a smile. You, Killary Rottencrotch Clinton, are a female version of Jack Napier. A killer clown with a psychotic smile. And you have the balls, even Bill's balls, to talk about Donald Trump? I want the America back that I grew up in, where psychotics like you didn't exist. Where in those times, psychotics like you, Killary Rottencrotch Clinton, were thrown in jail. You're obviously hiding under your master's desk to avoid prosecution. Oh, I forgot to mention your email bullshit too. How's that going for you? That alone, or maybe not that alone, but that and the murders should have kept your dumb ass out of the presidential race. You should have been disqualified. When you're blowing somebody for that. As far as it goes with me, all you Dumbo craps, when it comes to Killary Rottencrotch Clinton, you assholes must like some serious dry pushing. Seriously. And then Killary, I know it's you and that senile bastard Bernice Sanders that is paying off all those scumbags to show up at Trump's rallies and cause problems. And if that doesn't work, you're probably getting the money from the Antichrist motherfucker, George Soros. Yeah, that's right. He's the one pulling your master's strings, and your master, butthurt or fartface, is pulling yours. So he can still rule from the shadows. Just like his illegitimate great-grandfather Adolf Hitler used to do. When I look at the picture of these two ass wipes, I see some very serious similarities. Both are evil, both are killers, both are scum. You liberal lemmings better get your heads out of each other's asses and start using some common sense. You're on the land that I'm living on. And the only thing you assholes are doing is taking up space for what seems like no reason. The ones that are smart like me, we will not take a chance on putting a psychopath in the White House. That's the last mistake we want to make. We already made 7.5 years of mistakes with butthurt or fartface. The only thing I want to see, where you two scumbags are concerned, is both your asses in a courtroom, in handcuffs, in prison suits, waiting to be tried, and sentenced by Americans that hate you as much as I do. A hanging jury, in other words. That's what we need again. A hanging jury. And then, hopefully, the firing squad will get the last word on both of you. We need some good old-fashioned justice again. Not PC bullshit liberal justice. That doesn't work for anybody, especially the victims of very violent crimes. Crimes that are committed by you two assholes alone. These families need justice, and they have the right to have it. And sorry, Killary Rottencrotch Clinton, that the Benghazi families don't need to ask your permission. Just like I don't need your permission or anybody's to write this video up. In conclusion, we don't need to make the $1 trillion mistake again by putting a Kenyan asswipe back in the White House. Because I'll tell you what, butthurt or fartface, you even think of running for another fucking third term, I'm going to promise you that there's going to be somebody out there waiting to give you the final solution. And I think you better look that up, pal. The final solution is what it is. And if you think you're going to have a third term of terror, you better guess again. This goes for you too, Killary Rottencrotch Clinton. Somebody's probably going to be waiting for you. You're not going to know what direction it's going to come from or what state it's going to take place in. But eventually it will. I won't shed a tear for neither one of you. You're not worth it. My mother shed tears for Kennedy when he was murdered. That was the only real last Democrat there ever was in the history of the presidency. But Kennedy was never a team player. At least not on the Dumbo crap team. I've said enough already. You liberal lemming assholes better wise up while you're still among the living. Because if you're going to be on Killary Rottencrotch Clinton's friends list, I hope you bastards live long enough to see the ink dry on all your names before the coroner does. So good luck with that one. In the meantime, it's already been said, it is time to make America great again. It is time to bring America back from the ruins it has been thrust into. Killary Rottencrotch Clinton, what are your qualifications? Oh, sorry, I already addressed them. Lying and murder are not qualifications. Killing people is not a qualification. Stealing money or accepting money from dictators from terrorist countries is not a qualification. Having a phony foundation doesn't qualify you to be president either. Common sense. Common sense is a great weapon against you, isn't it? You sea hag. And all of us out there have got plenty of it to spare. And if the wrong person gets elected president, this fight's going to continue. This is Ghost Train 615 signing off.